Celtics received an offer for Vučević, behind the scenes and what changes now. If you follow the Celtics talk show, you already know that here we don't chase empty headlines. We are looking for context, reading the scenario, and, above all, understanding what the Boston Celtics are really trying to build. And today the subject is big, it's heavy, and it says a lot about the moment of the franchise. It is no exaggeration to say that this story helps to define whether Banner 18 is just a distant dream or an objective treated with the seriousness it deserves. What came to light in the last few days was not just another one of those loose rumors that appear and disappear on Twitter. It was a concrete, detailed account of a real proposal that reached the Celtics' front office desk and was turned down. A proposal that would involve the Chicago Bulls and a well-known name in the league, an experienced center, two-time All-Star, someone that many people still see as an immediate solution. But the most important thing here is not just the name involved. It is the price that was asked, and even more, what the refusal of this proposal reveals about the current mentality of the Boston Celtics. Before continuing, take advantage of this initial moment in the video to subscribe to the channel. We are in an important race to reach the goal of 1,000 subscribers, and this makes a huge difference to the growth of the Celtics talk show. If you like in-depth content made by people who really follow the team's day-to-day life, this subscription helps more than you might think. Now, let's get back to the topic because it's big. The Bulls did not enter this conversation just looking to alleviate their payroll. It wasn't that typical exchange with contracts to balance numbers. They came with a clear demand. They wanted Anfernee Simons and a first-round draft pick. This changes everything. We're not talking about moving the end of the rotation. We are talking about touching on a piece that has become fundamental to the team's identity this season. A player who, coming off the bench, changed the dynamics of the second team, provided energy, offensive creation, and stability at times when the attack simply stalled. And here comes a point that many people ignore when analyzing trades just based on the name of the arriving player. On paper, financially, this exchange would almost be a gift for the team's coffers. The center's salary is considerably lower, around $7 million less per season. In the current context of the NBA, with the new second apron rules and increasingly severe punishments for teams that insist on exceeding the cap, this would mean saving tens of millions in taxes. Real, heavy money coming out of the property's pocket. It would be the easiest decision in the world from a corporate point of view. It reduces costs, resolves a theoretical position shortage, and also gives the impression that something was done before the trade deadline. But what Brad Stevens and the board did was the exact opposite of that. They looked at this gigantic economy and said no. And when a team says no to an economy of this size, that is a declaration of intent. This refusal makes it clear that at this moment, the Celtics are not willing to sacrifice their product on the court to improve their financial sheet. And that's not a small thing. In the last 2 months, the team has made a clear leap in performance in the East. It wasn't random growth. It was the result of continuity, rapport, and a cast that understands their roles. There is a cohesion in the locker room today that cannot be built overnight. And changing this in the middle of a positive sequence, changing a key part of the bank just to alleviate taxes, would have an impact that goes far beyond statistics. Such an exchange would send a dangerous message to the cast. The message that, when making decisions, the focus is not on the title, but on cutting expenses. By refusing, the Celtics make the opposite move. They show that they believe in the current group, that they see more potential in this squad with Simons than in a financially cheaper squad, but more limited on the court. And when we get out of the discourse and into pure basketball, the decision starts to make even more sense. The idea of a center who delivers 18 points and 10 rebounds per game sounds very nice in the regular season. But the NBA playoffs are not played in this ideal scenario. They are thrown into the detail, into the incessant exploitation of weaknesses. And today, in the modern NBA, a veteran center with limited lateral mobility becomes a constant target. In a 7-game series against teams with aggressive, speedy point guards, This type of player is hunted possession after possession, pick and roll after pick and roll, forcing uncomfortable changes, breaking the defensive system, forcing the team to abandon schemes that worked all year. This is how series are decided, and that's why isolated numbers don't tell the full story. On the other hand, Simons represents something that doesn't easily appear in spreadsheets: offensive security. When the attack gets stuck, when the game gets ugly, when the opposing defense puts pressure on him, he is capable of creating his own shot. That's playoff gold. Giving up this ability, coupled with a first-round pick for a player who may not even play important games, is a huge risk. And there is still a factor that makes this proposal even more delicate: the contract. We're talking about a player who will become an unrestricted free agent soon. This means the Celtics could literally trade an important piece of the present and a valuable pick of the future for a rental of just a few months. If this player leaves at the end of the season, the damage is not just technical, it's strategic. It's committing assets that make a difference precisely in the new league scenario, where draft picks are even more valuable for maintaining competitive squads. Brad Stevens has shown more than once that he doesn't like temporary solutions. He thinks in windows, in continuity, in fit with the timeline of the team's stars. Any heavier move needs to make sense not just now, but in the coming years. The Celtics are not chasing a big name out of desperation. You're after the right profile. A center who defends, who can change blocks, who protects the rim, and who is under contractual control for more than one season. By turning down this proposal, the message to the rest of the league was clear. The Celtics are in the market, but they are not desperate. You won't accept anything just to say you made a trade. This gives strength to negotiations. It forces other general managers to adjust their expectations. But this stance also carries enormous risk, and the board knows this. If the trade deadline passes, no movement happens, and, up front, one of the squad's pivots gets injured, the narrative changes instantly. Criticism appears. The same people who today praise patience will say that the team should have accepted the proposal as insurance. It's the high-stakes game that every contender needs to play. There is no decision without consequence. Therefore, the next few days are decisive. The Celtics are looking for that rare, almost perfect trade. A player better than a simple minimum signing, cheaper than a star, and who doesn't cost an essential piece of the rotation. It is difficult? Very. Maybe that player isn't even available right now, but the simple fact that the team is willing to wait says a lot about how much they believe in what they have built so far. And now, I want to hear from you. In truth. This is one of those situations that divide fans. There are those who are relieved not to have traded a first-round pick for a veteran at the end of his career. And there are those who are worried about the depth of the tank in a possible long playoff series. Where do you fit in? Is Simons untouchable for you? Or would you accept including him in a trade for a younger center with a different profile? Was this refusal the definitive sign that the Celtics are fully committed to the title? Leave all of this in the comments, because this debate is essential for the channel. Enjoy and like the video. This helps a lot to deliver this content to more Celtics fans. And if you haven't signed up yet, now is the time. The goal of 1,000 subscribers is right there, and reaching this mark helps the Celtics talk show to grow, bring more in-depth analyses, and cover every step of this team that we love. Activate the bell so you don't miss anything, because when the right exchange appears, you can be sure that we will break down everything here in the right way. Stay in the video, because there are still a lot of Celtics to talk about. Let's go together, and to close this video the way it deserves, I want to make one thing very clear. What we are seeing now is not improvisation, it is not luck, and much less fear of taking risks. It's a Celtics that knows exactly where they want to go. Every decision, every no said at this trade deadline, every silent movement behind the scenes points to an organization that understands that a title is not won through desperation, it is won through conviction. Banner 18 will not fall from the sky. It's going to be built possession by possession, pick by pick, and this kind of refusal shows that Boston is willing to pay the right price and only the right price to get there. If you want to go beyond the headline, beyond the rumor, and really understand why the Celtics make these types of decisions, I need to extend an important invitation to you now. In the pinned comment is the Celtics Analytics playlist. There, we really break down the team, numbers, fits, real impact on the court, reading the game, and everything that doesn't appear in the highlights. It is in this playlist that you will understand why certain players are so valuable even when they don't score 20 points a night, and why some pretty on-paper exchanges can be disastrous in practice. Click on the Celtics Analytics playlist, marathon the videos, and come back here later to tell me if your view of this squad hasn't changed. I give. This is content made for fans who want to understand the game on another level. If this video helped you see the Celtics more clearly, leave a like now. It really strengthens the channel. Sign up, activate the bell, and help us reach the goal of 1,000 subscribers, because each registration makes a real difference in keeping this project alive, growing, and delivering increasingly in-depth analyses to the Celtic community. Stay with us because this season will still deliver a lot. The game is getting serious, the pressure is increasing, and the Boston Celtics are more ready than many people imagine. See you in the next video.